Hi guys, so I just wanted to give you an update on weight loss. I did a weigh-in this morning. It's been about 3 weeks since I first weighed myself and I was down 7 kilos. So that's good, I think. Maybe. No, it must be because it's like 3 weeks, so yeah, that's not bad. So I booked another cruise for March. Now, last time I was losing weight, I went on a cruise in October, ate lots of food at the buffet, drank lots of cocktails, and came back a couple of kilos heavier and had no motivation to go back. So, but this is going to be different. This time will be different. This time I will have the motivation because I'm hoping that you guys are going to keep me motivated. And I'm not going to drink as many cocktails, and I'm probably still going to eat a lot at the buffet. But I'm going to try not to have pizza at midnight, and I'm going to try not to have much ice cream, and I'm going to try not to have too many waffles, and maybe I'll go to the salad bar. It's really hard when you're on a cruise though, because you just want to let your hair out and have fun. But I want to lose the most that I can before then. So it's March. Just let me check. It's 60 something days away. I already checked it this morning and I've forgotten already. So it is 64. 64 days, 12 hours and 12 minutes. So I've got 64 days to lose the maximum that I can. So I'm not going to give up. And I'm not going to give up after I come back from the cruise either. Oh, and I also wanted to update you because I was telling you about the supplements the other day and I told you that I've been taking turmeric. And so the turmeric, I'm going to do a background video later, but I'm just going to tell you just really quickly, I have endometrial, well, I don't know if I still have it, I'm assuming yes, maybe not now, I don't know, but I had endometrial hyperplasia. I was diagnosed with that about this time, no, not this time last year, it was 2015 that I was diagnosed with it. It's confusing now that we've just hit 2017 because now I can't say last year anymore. So the end of the year before, it was like the end of 2015. I'd been bleeding for like 9 months. I went to the doctor. They found that I have endometrial hyperplasia, that's when the lining of your uterus is too thick. It's caused from, well, it's got to do with the polycystic ovaries, but the reason you get it is because your estrogen, which is the female hormone, there's too much of it in your body. So you got estrogen and you got progesterone. They basically sit here for most of the month. Sorry about the glare. If I shut the windows, it's going to be really dark in here though. It's a little bit better. So your estrogen, progesterone, they sit here for roughly about, like most of the month, they sit around the same place. But then before, around when you start to ovulate, your estrogen goes up here and it signals your body to start sending the blood to your uterus. And then when your egg's not fertilized or anything, your progesterone goes up, your estrogen goes back down, and your progesterone signals to you to flush the lining because nothing's fertilized. And then they go back here. So anyway, when you have endometrial hyperplasia, you've got, instead of being, here all the time and then going like this, you've got your estrogen here. Progesterone's here, where it's meant to be. So my progesterone levels are normal, but because my estrogen is up here, it blocks it. So this is what we've got all month. Estrogen up here, signaling my body to send blood to my uterus. Progesterone's just down here chilling. And then it goes up here, where it's meant to go, to flush it, but the estrogen is still up here. So then it goes back down, and it goes up, and it goes down, and it goes up, and it goes down, but nothing happens because the estrogen is still up here. So basically, you just keep getting blood sent to your uterus, and it slowly comes out constantly. So that happened for like 9 months before I freaked and went to the doctor thinking that I was dying of some kind of cancer. I didn't want to go to the doctor. I eventually told my mum because it drains you, like emotionally, it's so draining dealing with it. and they said, oh, you've got endometrial hyperplasia. They gave me medication to stop the bleeding first, then they did an ultrasound, and my lining was 19 millimeters, and it's only meant to be, at the most, is like 12, I think they said, and that's just before you have a period. So it was pretty thick. The medication that they gave me took it down to 15 or something like that. They wanted to do a biopsy just to check, because endometrial hyperplasia, it is pre-cancer, because the lining's just sitting there for so long that cells can start to change. And once the cells start to change, well, that's when you've got worries. Like when you have cervical cancer, it's because you've got abnormal cells. So like not always are the abnormal cells cancerous, but when you do have cancer, your cells are abnormal. So they wanted to check that with a biopsy. That didn't happen. So they booked me in for a surgery. I had DNC and a hysteroscopy, which is like exploratory surgery. That all came back fine. There was a lot. The lining was very thick, but there was no cancerous cells or anything. So they sent me home, and I stopped bleeding for about 2 weeks, and then it happened again. And so they put me back on this synthetic hormone, norethistone. But, sorry, it's extremely painful, because it's a synthetic progesterone, so it does make the estrogen, like it does overpower the estrogen. But it does hurt when you start a period after it. It stops you bleeding for about a month, and then you start again, and it is excruciating pain. Like, it is the worst thing I've ever felt. It's very painful. It's very heavy. I don't like it. But anyway, I had to do that again. So I did that, and then I stopped for about a month or so, and then I started again. So I had to do it again, but they gave me I had to take it for a month this time. And I think they were hoping that it might just balance itself back out, because I had lost a little bit of weight at that stage as well. But I didn't. So, but I am going to do I don't know if I said this already, but I am going to do a video on my history. So, I'm going to go from like when I first got my period up until now, and give you my full sort of history on the polycystic ovaries, because I didn't always have it. So I will give you a history. I'm going to do a video on what I believe caused it. Most doctors will say, oh no, it doesn't get caused, it's just there, it just happens. No, it's not. I'm not buying it. I think there's two different kinds of polycystic ovaries. True polycystic ovaries, and we'll call it imposter polycystic ovaries. I'll go through that more in the next video, because I don't want to make them too long, because when I make these videos too long, I'm using the camera on my laptop, so it seems to, once it hits about 15 minutes, it seems to freeze. So we're already at 8, so I'm going to wrap this up soon. But I will do the background video, maybe even today, maybe tomorrow, so that I can let you guys know, everything. Anyway, sorry, I had so much trouble sleeping last night, because I'm not taking my magnesium anymore, because I'm too scared that if I take the magnesium, it will affect the turmeric. Anyway, that's where I'm getting at. So, progesterone, took that again for a month. Horrible, horrible, horrible cramps and bleeding again when it started again. The third time they put me on it, they did give me tranexamic acid to stop the bleeding the next time, because I told them I hate the norethistone, can you give me something else? Then the next time I took the norethistone, I ended up in emergency, because it was the worst. I was losing a lot of clots. I thought that I was losing way too much blood. It was very, very, very painful. I thought my uterus was falling out of me. It was horrible. Anyway, I went to emergency, and then they gave me tranexamic acid, and the bleeding just wouldn't stop. It took about 2 weeks for it to slow down, and then it did stop for maybe 2 months or something, and then I was on another cruise, and it started again while I was on that. And that was in April last year, and it didn't stop until recently. And so it was another 8 or something months. But anyway, I started taking the turmeric. And 2 days after I started the turmeric, I stopped bleeding. And I thought, this is weird. Anyway, didn't think much of it. And 2 days, after 2 days after I stopped, I started again. And it was really, really heavy and painful. And I thought, wonder what's going on here. So I just thought, oh well, see how it goes. I spent 3 days lying on the lounge with a heat pack. It was excruciating, absolutely horrible pain. And then after 5 days of it, it stopped. And I thought, well, that hasn't happened since I had the norethistone. And it's still stopped now. Like, it's been 4 or 5 days since it stopped. Which is really, really weird, because I haven't been able to, like, I feel like it was a proper period, and I feel like it flushed everything out, because now there's nothing. And I'm hoping that, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm hoping that in, 3-ish weeks I'll start again, and only for 5 days, but not like 5 months or 9 months or something like that. Just 5 days, 7 most is fine. But I'm really hoping that I'm onto something with the turmeric. So the three things that I've been doing different is warm lemon water in the morning, turmeric supplements, and yoga. I feel like it's the turmeric though, because when I was in all that excruciating pain, I stopped the yoga, and so because I stopped the yoga, I stopped the lemon water. Logical, I know. And I kept going with the turmeric, and this is where I'm at now. And then since I've completely stopped bleeding, I've gone back to the lemon water, I've gone back to the yoga, and still taking the turmeric, and I'm still not bleeding. So I'm really crossing my fingers that the turmeric is helping, and I'm really hoping that I'm going to start, my hormones might start leveling out. I'm even getting pimples, like, you can't see probably, but I don't usually get pimples. I used to get them just before I'd get it, like a period around that time, like years ago. But as a general rule, I don't really get pimples anyway. But I've got one like under here, I've got one like here, and you can't see it. I wish you could see it. I need a better camera. And I had one up here. Like, it's weird. So I'm thinking my hormones are starting to level out. Crossing my fingers. Hopefully I don't jinx it, because the last thing I want to do is jinx it and go back to continuous bleeding again, because it's like emotionally draining. I hate it. Even though it's like, it's not much. Like, it's not even heavy. Like, it's not like you have a period for 9 months. It's just there all the time. But it's not at the moment. So I'm really excited. Anyway, so I just wanted to update you guys with that. The bleeding has still stopped. Weight loss is down 7 kilos. I'm going to do another video either today or tomorrow, or sometime in the next couple of days. I'm going to do another video on my whole background until this point, let you know what I feel has been the cause of all of this, and just give you a general rundown on everything that's gone on with me since, I guess, puberty age. Anyway, so I'll get back to you guys later with that video. I'm also going to start soon. I'm going to start doing videos of what I'm doing through the day, just so if you guys want to follow along, because I am losing weight. Like, it is working. So if you guys want to be able to follow what I'm doing on like a daily basis, let me know in the comments. Like the video, subscribe so you can watch more. But definitely comment. Like, I like the comments because they're really motivating. I've had couple of really nice comments recently, and they keep you going. So if you guys like it, or even if you just want to chat or whatever, send me a comment, like the video, subscribe to the channel, get your friends to as well, because I really, really, really am the biggest reason that I started doing the videos was for motivation. But what I would ultimately like to do is lose all the weight and then help other people, because I've struggled with it so much for years myself. And, the doctors just keep pumping in more medication, and it doesn't work. Like, it really doesn't, it just doesn't work. Like, I was on metformin for months, and the next time I had a glucose tolerance test, my levels were even worse. So it just doesn't work. So I'm trying to do it my own way, and I'm trying to reverse it all my own way. So that's what I would like to do. Like, I want to help, like, other ladies that are going through the same problems, and just, even if it's just to talk, like, sometimes I wish I had someone to talk to that knew what I was going through. But anyway, so yeah, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, and try and keep me motivated, because I really don't want to stop this time. I'm not going to stop this time. I'm refusing to give up this time. Every other time I've given up, this time I'm not. It's different, because you know what? Something is working. Something is definitely working for me to have a bleed like that without norethistone, progesterone, whatever you want to call it. it's called norethistone, but it is a progesterone, synthetic progesterone. But for something to be working without that, that's a big thing to me. So something is working. So I'm not giving up. But I will be back later this week, maybe today. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to go and do yoga. Which, by the way, you're probably all sitting there laughing about the yoga thing. It is not easy. And you know what? My face drips with sweat more than it ever did when I was going to the gym for an hour and a half every day. Like, it is intense. Like, it hurts. And it makes you sweat. And it's great, but you guys should try it. I'm going to keep trying a couple of different ones, and I'm going to start linking my favourite ones in videos soon. I just got to decide which ones are my favourite. But anyway, I'm going to end it before this camera goes all funny and stops filming, and I'll catch up with you guys soon. See ya.